Hello and welcome everyone to Ralph's Market in Gonzales, Louisiana. My name is Sarah Harbison and I'm General Counsel at the Pelican Institute for Public Policy. The Pelican Institute is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that believes that every person in Louisiana should have the opportunity to flourish through the benefits of individual liberty and free enterprise. Today, I'm joined by Buck Daugherty, Senior Attorney at the Liberty Justice Center. The Liberty Justice Center is a national public interest law firm that fights to protect Americans' fundamental constitutional rights. Also joining me and hosting us today is Brandon Trosclair. Brandon's a Louisiana businessman and owner of this store and 14 other locations in this state. We're here today to talk about the challenge brought by Brandon as a business owner and 6 captive air systems employees in Texas to stop the Biden administration's illegal federal vaccine mandate. On Friday, attorneys at the Liberty Justice Center and the Pelican Institute filed an emergency motion to stay the enforcement of the OSHA rule in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans. By Saturday afternoon, that motion was granted by the court. Later today, we will file our response to the federal government's reply to that order in an effort to secure an ongoing nationwide injunction. We, the Pelican Institute, Liberty Justice Center, and Brandon are committed to defending American business owners and workers from this gross abuse of power at the expense of private businesses and the right to make personal health decisions. I am confident that the courts will see this mandate for what it is, an attempt to make laws while bypassing Congress. And now I'm proud to introduce Buck Daugherty, Senior Attorney at the Liberty Justice Center. Buck?
Thank you, Sarah. My name is Buck Daugherty, Senior Attorney with Liberty Justice Center. Along with Sarah, we represent Brandon Trosclair and the captive air employees. The Biden administration's vaccine mandate is illegal, and that's why attorneys at the Liberty Justice Center and the Pelican Institute filed the petition on Friday, shortly after the ETS was published in the Federal Register by OSHA. We are here with Brandon Trosclair, the owner of Ralph's Market, and BST Holdings versus OSHA is the lead case in the Fifth Circuit and the lead case across the country that has been able to obtain thus far an emergency stay order that was issued by the Fifth Circuit on Saturday. The Fifth Circuit recognized the importance of halting this mandate, saying it cannot be enforced because, quote, there are grave statutory and constitutional issues with the mandate. However, despite this order, this stay order that was issued on a Saturday, only 24 hours after OSHA released its ETS, the Biden administration told businesses, private businesses like Ralph's Market and Brandon's companies to proceed with the vaccine mandate. This is lawlessness, a complete disrespect for the judicial process, and a violation of the rule of law. The problems with this mandate are obvious. The Biden administration's COVID strategy is to circumvent Congress, ignore the Constitution, then threaten and bully millions of Americans to get vaccinated against their free will. It's an assault on the U.S. Constitution, and it is not the first time the Biden administration has grossly overstepped its executive authority. You'll recall that earlier this summer, the Supreme Court of the United States struck down the Biden administration's illegal eviction moratorium. This mandate is unfortunately only the latest attempt by this administration to circumvent the rule of law and to threaten millions of Americans and to violate the Constitution. The Biden administration's vaccine mandate represents the greatest government overreach of our generation. No matter how you feel personally about vaccines or whether or not that you've been vaccinated or not, this is a complete overreach of the federal government's authority, and all Americans should be frightened, concerned, and outraged. Let's be very clear. This lawsuit and this petition is not an anti-vaccine lawsuit. It is an anti-mandate lawsuit. We are very excited that the Court of Appeals on Saturday, in an unprecedented ruling, granted our emergency stay order, our emergency motion, and entered the stay order. We're here today to tell you that we will continue to fight to the finish line to make sure that this vaccine mandate that is illegal never sees the light of day. We look forward to having our day in court to fight this legal battle and this unconstitutional edict and to strike it down once and for all. Now, I'm very proud to introduce our client, Louisiana native and small business owner of numerous stores across Louisiana and Mississippi. He employs nearly 500 employees, Brandon Trosclair.
Thanks, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. How you doing? And as Mr. Buck said, I'm proud to be a Louisianian and proud to be an American. I'm a second-generation independent grocer, and I employ nearly 500 employees across Louisiana and Mississippi. Over the last 20 months, my staff has been coming to work every single day during hurricanes and COVID and have been hailed as heroes. Now, in spite of their dedication and sacrifices, the Biden administration is asking to insert myself into their personal medical decisions and their lives and tell them they have to get a vaccine that they may or may not want. Now, I am not anti-vaccine, I am anti-mandate. The Biden administration and OSHA do not have the legal or constitutional authority to tell anyone what to put into their body. I will not mandate that my employees must take a vaccine that they do not want to take or they do not need to be tested for. Those are private medical decisions that should be made by an individual with their doctor and their family, not by their boss or any politician in Washington. It is not my job to police the employees' private lives and their private health decisions. It is my job to serve my community and serve it well, provide a product, and create jobs. As a businessman committed to free enterprise and personal liberty, I've been a longtime friend of the Pelican Institute. I knew that working with them and the Liberty Justice Center would be the only way to take on the Goliath, which is the federal government. This week we have achieved an incredible first victory for all American workers, with the Fifth Circuit so quickly realizing that the Biden employer vaccine mandate would cause great harm to businesses like mine. As the legal process continues, I look forward to sharing more of my story. This stay is a first step in the right direction for all Americans. And before we leave, I want to say a special thank you to my wife and kids during this process, and I also want to say a special thank you to my staff for all the hard work and dedication that they do day in, day out, not only on behalf of my family, but for this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Buck. It's an honor to be able to work with somebody like Brandon, and it's really wonderful to have a partner like Liberty Justice Center and Buck and Daniel Sir and all of the other attorneys that we've been working with. As I mentioned, today at 5 p.m. we will be filing our response to the government's brief, and we expect that the Fifth Circuit could rule as quickly on our request for a permanent injunction as early as tomorrow, but likely by the end of the week. Regardless, this case or a similar case, these issues will be addressed by the United States Supreme Court, and we are here for the duration of the fight. Thank you so much for coming, and we will keep you updated on this case as we continue to hear from the courts. Thank you.